Okay, we're going to wait a couple minutes so that people can find their way here. And we are going to meet our experts that will be sharing with us. So before we start introducing them, Judy, why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves? Why don't you start?
All right. Well, my name is Judy. I am, as my profile says, a Sonlight veteran. I homeschooled our 3 children for more than 20 years using Sonlight. So all the way from kindergarten through graduation from high school. And now those kids are all college graduates and all working in the field of their choice. And I have the privilege of being able to help homeschool some of my grandchildren now. Our oldest daughter's oldest 2 children spent 2 mornings a week with us this last school year. And how very different it is to teach a child to read as a grandparent as opposed to being a parent. It's been a lot of fun being able to do that, but a challenge too. I have thoroughly enjoyed visiting conventions, as Sheila mentioned in our last session. I had the opportunity to meet a lot of you, maybe some of you that are here today at different locations across the country. It was always, like Sheila said, exhausting, but how fun it was to be able to talk with people about something that was such a blessing for our family. And so I always will highly recommend Sonlight because it was such a good choice for us.
Yes, and I discovered Sonlight at a homeschool convention as well here in my hometown. That convention is no longer going, but in the year 2000 it was, and I discovered Sonlight at a convention. And a few years later, I started working in the Sonlight booth. I started when I had a kindergartner, a 3-year-old, and a baby. So I know all about starting with little ones. And then I combined them throughout the years in different ways. So I have a lot of experience combining kids, and I talk about that. 2 of my 3 kids are dyslexic, so I have experience with that. And I like to help parents who have that issue in their lives. So yes, we homeschooled our 3 kids all the way through, and they are now all out of college and working in the field of their choice as well. So let's move on and hear from our other speakers and just a little bit about them. And you can, so let's just go there and listen to them.
I'm Lisa. I am the mom of 3 children. My oldest was starting high school when my daughter was going to start kindergarten, and it just wasn't working for our family. So instead of going to regular kindergarten, we decided to start homeschooling. We found Sonlight and used Sonlight all the way through for her and her sister, that's 3 years younger, until they graduated. That younger sister graduated from our homeschool in 2021, and she will graduate from college in May of this year. So we are almost all the way done with all of our schooling. I have been working in the Sonlight booth since about 2007. And then have done lots of jobs in various departments for Sonlight. And I'm currently, one of my jobs is being in the booth and getting to meet people in person.
I began my journey with Sonlight when my oldest daughter was 4 years old. A couple friends, completely unrelated, both said, "Oh, you're thinking about homeschooling. We think you would really like this curriculum, Sonlight curriculum, literature-based." So I started looking into it and actually went to a convention, met the girls running the Sonlight booth, and fell in love with the curriculum and have used it ever since. So I have 5 children. So I began the journey when my oldest was going into preschool. She is now 27 years old. So my oldest daughter is graduated, is starting a second master's degree. My second daughter, college graduate. My son, college graduate. Other son is in college, and I'm still currently homeschooling my youngest daughter, who is just about to finish 9th grade. So I have been with Sonlight for a very long time. I have used almost every level that Sonlight offers, and have done through high school. So a lot of people homeschool maybe through elementary or into high school, but I have actually homeschooled my children all the way through. So I think that that is helpful. And not that we never took advantage of a co-op or whatever, but I have used almost every level of Sonlight.
My name is Anne. I'm from Texas, and I started homeschooling my children in 2007, and they are now both in college. So it has been a really exciting journey, and I just love to share homeschooling with Sonlight with others. So I'm now working as an educational consultant with Sonlight. I have worked at conventions in person before, and so any of you that can someday go to one, I may see you there in person. But it is just a joy to be here to help you all online.
I originally found Sonlight at a small homeschool convention, and I walked into the booth and I saw all of the books, and I thought, yeah, I could homeschool like this. I could homeschool if I had all these books. And I never looked back. And I used Sonlight for my homeschool through all 4 of my kids from the very beginning of their school careers all the way through high school. So what I've done for Sonlight over the years, I've worked in the convention booth. I have written for Sonlight, and I am currently a mentor on the Sonlight Connections app.
My name is Christy, and I started out teaching for 2 years after college with a family living in West Africa, actually, of all places. And that's where I learned about Sonlight. So the family had already chosen the curriculum, so I didn't have to do that hard part of making the choice of the curriculum. And I was so impressed. I was an education major, so my background is in education. And I was really blown away by what I found in the Sonlight curriculum. And so, so that's where we started. And then my family started years later. I met my husband. We had 4 boys. And it was when my youngest was a baby that I was kind of I actually still went through and did that thing where you look at every curriculum imaginable and weigh it all and try to see which one is going to be the best for my family. I still did that. And I had friends that were using Sonlight. I had a friend from college that was using Sonlight. I think she's in the community now. And she actually answered a lot of questions for me. And that's where I got started.
We're going to close out of this workshop, and we'll see you in the next one. The next one is the first session where the videos will be a little longer, and we got one. So we'll meet you in the next one.